for the very basic need for the earth to remain habitable for human beings. If we don't get on top of this, the world becomes increasingly adverse. But also we know that there'll be gradings within that, because it'll be the poorest and the most marginal who will be hit first and hardest. No one will escape the consequences. We're talking of potential of 100 million climate-driven migrants by the middle of this century, with all the injustice and turmoil that means for people. So this is clearly at the center of our global challenges. Way back in the day when I used to work for Tier Fund back in the 90s, we were telling stories of rural urban migration in the global south, people who were living on land that was no longer able to feed them. And that was through climate change, desertification, and with all the injustices, with all the work that then kicked in around poverty, around human exploitation. So these, we were seeing the effects a long time ago. So I've always seen tackling climate change as part of our responsibility to be stewards of the planet. But for me, it's also integral to social justice and racial justice, because I think also it's people who look like me and my dad who are amongst those who get hit first and hardest. So you can't separate the interdependence of the issues of planetary and social justice. We have programs within the city. We have City Leap, which is £1 billion package of investment that we're procuring partners now that will transform the city's relationship with energy, which is huge. More renewables, distribution, smart usage, storage. We've got EV charging points going on around the city. We've brought through biogas buses into the city, the largest single order, and we've got bus deals. So we're trying to have that chapter change in the way the city works. But there are some other areas as well that look at the way we work. So we've put the Global Sustainable Development Goals at the heart of the One City Plan. And we've made the subtle but significant shift. We're not just measuring ourselves against the SDGs. We're saying, how do we make sure that what we do actually delivers the SDGs? And there's something very significant in that. And that relates to the lead up to COP 26 this year. So tomorrow, I'm talking to the leader of Manchester, Bristol. We're very, we're at the heart of the preparations for COP among UK cities. And one of the challenges we're taking to COP is this, that it takes more than political will to deliver the kind of change we need, the redesign of cities, the decarbonisation of city systems. It takes billions of pounds. So our challenge to government and all those organisations investing in COP was, don't just turn up with a bunch of declarations for national governments. You've got to turn up releasing the money with the vehicles to release the finance that will enable us to transform our systems, retrofit our homes, build zero carbon homes, decarbonise our waste, our energy and our transport systems. So we're really driving into those meetings and those forums, the how as much as the what. No single organisation can deliver the scale and pace of change we need, right? So it can't just be down to the city council. The universities are like small towns in Bristol. You're your own sovereign organisations. The NHS is not accountable to me here. It's its own most sovereign organisation that can depend accountable to London. So the only way we as a city are going to meet our climate challenges is if we move as a city. We share the aim and we take responsibility for our own areas of sovereignty and our areas of influence. So we need to move together. So we need to make sure, and we are in many ways through the One City Plan. But secondly is the brutal reality that it does take money. There was a very naive statement made around our declaration of a climate emergency, and it said, all we need is political will. Well, if all we needed was political will to make stuff happen, I'd have ended racism and sexism a couple of years ago. It takes money too, it takes investment, because the physical rebuilding of our cities to decarbonise them takes billions of pounds. And so we have to look at what we're doing behaviourally, but we also have to make sure we're making a case to government that they release the investment, de-risk the investment projects, and to those international investors to make sure that they're lining up with cities that want to get the stuff done. So that is a really important message for the national and international political agenda setters.